4, Part A. On the grid below, draw a parallelogram. So a parallelogram in layman's terms is what I would call a squint rectangle. So the idea is with a rectangle, you've got two sides that are opposite each other that are the same length, let's just say like these two, and then the other two opposite each other are also the same length. They're also parallel to one another. So a parallelogram is when you take these angles and you sort of adjust them so that they're not 90 degrees anymore, or you could take these two corners at the top and sort of shift them to the right, and then the idea is that these lines here would start to slope sideways. So how I could do that is something like the following. If I imagine that I'm taking these lines and going down, I could end up with something that looks like this. So my two sides that were the height of the rectangle like that are suddenly squint, so to speak. They're on an angle. And then the two sides left over at the top, I could keep horizontal like so. So this here is an example of a parallelogram. Now the size of it doesn't matter. As long as it looks like a squid rectangle, as long as it has the pair of opposite equal length parallel sides, like I've highlighted in green there, and then the other two sides have also got to be equal in length, have also got to be parallel, then you'll be okay. So let me just erase the original because of the fact that it just wants the parallelogram in the diagram, and that's part A. Part B, what is the mathematical name for a polygon with 5 shapes? Pentagon is the answer for that. Next, the diagram shows a 3D shape. What is the mathematical name for this 3D shape? A pyramid is technically enough for you to get the marks. Technically, when you have pyramids, you would say what kind of pyramid it is by identifying the shape that is opposite the point. So the point here being at the top, the shape that's on the base is the shape that you would quote. So technically, if we were being fully accurate, we'd say square-based pyramid, but a pyramid on its own is enough to get you the marks. And C part 2, how many edges has the shape got? So effectively, how many lines do we have in our shape here? Well, there's 4 on the base, which is a square, and then you have, I'll do this in a different color, 4 edges going up from the corners of the square base to the point at the top. So we have a grand total of 8 edges. Done.